Retirement. Is retiring at 55 a real possibility? Here's my story. Well, guys, I wanted to do a new series on things I think are interesting, and more importantly, are things that I've been discussing in my life, and I want to share them with you. And hopefully, I can give you some tips and some things, and just sharing my story that might make things easier for you or help you in some decisions you have to make. That's the whole reason for my YouTube channel, is to help other people. So I happen to work at a place that has a pension plan, and I'm in Canada, and I know in the US I believe they have 401ks. Up here they have government pensions, which is, I happen to work for the government, but they also have private pensions, RRSPs, all that kind of stuff, which is a wonderful way to be able to save up for your retirement. And like I said, I happen to work in the public sector, which allows us to have a government type pension, obviously. And they have this clause with the government pensions that as you are approaching the age of 55, you have the ability to take a one-time lump sum payment. Now, I didn't know about this at all. It just happened that there were some co-workers that had gone through some stuff, and they decided to take it. And at that time, this is 2007, 2010, around there, these guys were getting $800,000, $900,000, $1 million. So that seemed like to me a whole lot of money that would be perfect to be able to start retirement. I mean, and who doesn't want to retire at 55? I think in the old days that retiring at 65 was the only reality that most people faced. So, I remember seeing on the TV so many commercials about Freedom 55, Freedom 55. And that was one of those things where I thought, if you could do that while you're still young at 55, wouldn't that be a great thing to do? So, as I learned about these pension options of these payouts, I thought, wow, that would be awesome. So, I mean, coincidentally, the few guys I know that did this didn't end up just going off into vacation land and, sitting on a beach somewhere. Most of them actually got other jobs working somewhere else. So the way this would work is, again, I'm going down some rabbit trails. Hopefully, anyways, this is my story, so hope you guys enjoy it. But in Canada, the way it works here, because I was investigating it for myself, is that you have to take, I think it is about 50%, and they put it into a locked-in retirement savings plan. So you get your lump sum, and then a portion of it, half of it roughly, goes into a locked-in savings plan that you cannot touch unless you come to the government and you say, we've got financial hardships in my family. Then they will make exceptions for you. But the general rule is that it's locked in, because they don't want you taking $1 million and then blowing it and coming back and living on welfare. So it's locked in, and then you have to live on the rest, which does get taxed. And if you know anything about Canada, we're like the highest taxed country in the world almost. So they really kill you in taxes up here. So they do, I believe, have a one-time adjustment where excuse me, rather than paying the 40 or 50% taxes you'd normally pay on this large sum, you only pay a 30%. It's a one-time retirement pension that the CRA allows you. So it's a little bit less, but anyways, it's still hefty. So you have to take all these things into consideration. So here's what ended up happening with me. So, spoiler alert, I didn't take it. But as I started to investigate. I was 51, 52. Here's what happened is I started every year you were allowed to have them give you a very detailed for free estimation of what it would look like for you. So I think I was 51 or 52 and I got it, and I looked at the lump sum payout. Now the way they base the lump sum payment is that they look at you, whether you're a man or woman, and the estimated time of expected life for you was, typically here it's like 85 years old, let's say. They would say, okay, well, from 55 to 85, here's what we believe it's going to cost you to live. And that's your lump sum payout. So then what happens is then that they give me that estimate, and I think it was around $1.35 million what they estimated I would be getting at 55. And then I said to myself, well, that's great, and if it increases every year, it could be awesome by 55. Well, this is where the economics of the world come in. This was it just after COVID, I believe it was, and the interest rates in Canada were super low, like for houses and that kind of stuff. And here's where I didn't realize how things work. So 1.35 million, the first estimate. I think it was 52. So 53, then I get my estimate, and things start to change. Interest rates start to go up. Doesn't my 1.35 million estimate go down to about $950,000? And that really was shocking. And that's when I started to have a wake-up call of maybe this is not going to quite work out for me. So I waited the next year. Interest rates are going up again, and I get my estimated lump sum buyout. This time it's like $890,000. And this is when I'm saying it. There's no possible way. Well, I absolutely for sure could not retire and do nothing, because I would have, after the locked-in money and after paying my taxes, I would have like $250,000 to live on for 10 years until I could access my other money. That's just not doable. So at this point, my bubble was getting a bit burst. So then I waited the next year. So when I was 54, I did the estimate as well again, and interest rates had gone down, that things had stabilized, had gotten a bit better interest rate wise. And at that time, I think it was 1.1 million, or just over a million, like $1,050,000. So this is where I had to make a real hard choice, and that was that there's no way I could possibly live off of, let's say, $300,000. So unfortunate, wake up call. But it is what it is. I think that if I had a very lucrative job that I could have gone to, then it might have made sense if I could have just parked that 250 or 300,000 somewhere and then lived off the salary of my new position. That might have worked, but I wasn't in that position. So is retiring at 55 a reality? It is for some people. And I've got a few videos in this series I'm going to make, and one of them is about people who have retired at 55 and what they had to do to enable that to happen. But long story short, my story did not work out the way I thought it would. But, I'm blessed to have a very good job. I've got very good people leaders above me. I mean, if I was in a position where I had a terrible boss, the job was making you miserable, that would be a totally different thing. But I'm very blessed and I'm very grateful for the position I have. And every year I stay, my paycheck goes up a little bit. Every year I stay, my pension plan goes up a little bit. So nothing is forcing me out the window. Spoiler alert as well, I am like 56, almost 57 now. So I did end up staying, and I'm fine with it for now. But Lord willing, hopefully retirement is on the horizon. but we'll take it one day at a time. So my friends, I hope that helped you out to see that retirement is possible, but there's a lot of things you need to take into consideration when you're looking at financing, money, and how it's, if it is possible for you, and some of the things that are around that you maybe didn't know about. And maybe this could help you. Maybe you never knew that your 401k or your company pension plan does have a buyout option. And if you can set yourself up years in advance to get that payout plan and to put it away off to the side and then get a second career or another path going, that's something that could be very beneficial to you. So anyways, guys, I hope you liked this video. If you did like it, press a like button, press subscribe. Like I said, I've probably got another 10 videos in this retirement series I'd love to share with you guys. Leave some comments down below, and love to chat with you, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.